Clinical Officers Teachers Service Commission threatens to crack whip on striking junior secondary school intern teachers who refuse to go back to work. Shock in Bungoma County as 7-month-old fetus rescued from a pit latrine alive. Will be part of the broadcast. Watch us across our social media platforms on Facebook, on EBN TV, and on Twitter at TVEBN. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Let's get started. Now, police on Monday stopped 250 junior secondary school teachers from holding a street demonstration over demands for permanent and pensionable terms of service. The police officers who arrived at Moi Avenue in a Land Rover said they were under instructions to stop the demonstrations because the teachers did serve the police with adequate notice. An inspector of police engaged the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Teachers, Education Teachers in Mombasa branch with the Executive Secretary Ms. Lynette Kamadi in a lengthy argument before the teachers were asked to disperse. Now, Kamadi had given the inspector a copy of the letter notifying the police of demonstrations, but she insisted a fresh notice should be issued in adequate time.
Mombasa County has 98 junior secondary schools. They are required to have 916 junior secondary school teachers. That is the staffing that is supposed to be there. As we talk, they have engaged 350. Out of 350 junior secondary teachers currently in schools, only 95 are permanent and pensionable. The remaining 256 were engaged on internship.
We have come here to address the following issues. Number one, we are legally here because of the Constitution, which provides for us to be here because we are picketing and doing a peaceful demonstration, because as the junior school teachers tushapatiwa barua ya kusema kuwa maandamano yetu si halali, na koti ilisema internship ni legal and we are not going back to school. Na sisi tunasema kwamba sisi ile kitu tunaomba tu peke yake ni hiyo PNP, na masomo tunafundisha sisi hatukuyasoma pale university. We are only supposed to teach 2 subjects, na tunafaa tutoke pale primary because that environment is not fit for us.
Ningependa kusema sisi kama walimu wa JS tumedharauliwa sana. Unalipwa 17,000, unafunza masomo mengi, lessons ni 36, vitisho unatishiwa kule shule, ukipita hivi hata una amani, environment ni mbaya, vitabu zinaletwa zifanani na curriculum. Kwa hivyo shida ziko huko Shakahola ni nyingi sana. Kwa hivyo sisi tunasema 17K tawe, internship tawe, mambo ya 36 lessons tawe, mambo ya kudanganywa na serikali kwamba mtakonifamiwa bila kuandikiana chini MOU tunasema tawe. Kwa hivyo sisi hapa tumeomba serikali iangalie mambo yetu, watoto wanaumia kule shuleni. Tungeomba kwamba tukonifamiwa hata kesho na tutarudi shuleni. Asante.
Now, the strike called by clinical officers marked 57 days on Monday with no end in sight. Clinical officers union leaders are blaming the government for what they say is non-commitment towards finding a solution to the strike. The strike has affected health services delivery in level 4 and 3 hospitals, as well as health centers and dispensaries across the entire country. The union leaders meeting in Nyeri on Monday said services like outpatient and major selective surgeries continue to be affected as they stay away from work. The officers in Nyeri decried tough working conditions and understaffing, asking the government to move in quickly and address their plight.
Ile kazi mtu anafanya peke yake. I'm the CEO, I'm the records, I'm the pharmacist, I'm everything in the dispensary. So please, we urge the government watuanjiri permanent and personable.
So Embu clinic officers have not been paid for the last 2 months, and it's quite unfortunate because even if the county, the As General Secretary would call off the strike now in Embu, we remain out until we are paid fully.
As the UHC group, the UHC fraternity, we are not working because our contract lapsed on 17th this month, and since we've been on strike and the faculties or the candidates that were not on strike and their contract have lapsed, we are all out of duties, and we don't know what the government is planning because we have not had any communication if the contracts are being extended and or if they are being converted into permanent and pensionable.
But there is money when it is about power and position. There is money when it is about power and position. But if it is about service delivery for poor Kenyan, including even agriculture where we can see them selling fertilizer that are not fertilizers, that's the painful things that we get. And I must say it, that we clinical officers called for the strike on 25th March. 7 days elapsed. We started our strike on 1st April with 10 demands, and a majority of them have not been met. And therefore, we cannot purport to go back, yet the problem that brought us out has not been addressed. Today, as we speak here, because of priority, you have seen the CS sharing that she is in Geneva, representing or rather leading a delegate there. That's to mean no one has been left in the country to make a decision about the Kenyan in terms of the struggle that they're going on through. So it is about molarity. And I wonder what kind of story will they be sharing when over 2 months, close to 2 months, healthcare workers have been on strike.
The proposed finance bill of 2024 has elicited mixed reactions from various quarters. Former Borabu legislator Ben Momanyi has urged members of parliament to shoot it down when it gets to the House. Momanyi, who described the proposal as punitive to the ordinary Kenyans, reminding elected leaders championing it to be mindful of the current economy. Furthermore, the legislator urged the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to shun the one man, one vote, one shilling agenda.
One man, one vote, one shilling, one man, one vote. Lazima Deputy President ajue ya kwamba hii nchi ni ya Wakenya wote. Na yeye ni Deputy President wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Kwanza ako na bahati sana. Mimi mwenyewe alinipata bunge. Huyu amekuja tu bunge juzi. Amekuwa tu na bahati akakuwa Deputy President. Kwa hivyo ajue ya kwamba he is not a Deputy President for central profit or for central only. He is a Deputy President for the Republic of Kenya, and he should behave as such. Awaja is behaving like a headman in the central. Atoke nje atembee na ajue ya kwamba ile magari anatumia hizo mandege anasema alinyimwa juzi, they are being paid for by the taxpayers. Therefore, they should take care of the whole country and not cocoons. Mahali mtu anatoka yeye anataka kila kitu uende hapo. Kwa kusema kweli, hii ni budget yenye inaenda kuumiza Mkenya sana. Kwa hivyo tungesi sana our members of parliament, the day the bill is taken to the House and when the vote is going to be taken, we are asking our members of parliament hiyo kitu itupiliwe mbali kwa sababu itaumiza mwananchi wa kawaida sana.
Now, University of Nairobi students want embattled Vice Chancellor Professor Stephen Kiama not to be sent on leave. The students say their squabbling between the vice chairperson and the Senate was affecting learning at the institution. The embattled VC has vowed not to obey the decision to send him on leave.
The University of Nairobi is the biggest public institution in our country, and we must not sit aside and let it lose its glory. Therefore, pains us that we have all these problems at the institution, but no one really seems to give a voice of reason. We have been told that as the students we don't have any business meddling in administrative or management issues. But our question is, shall we keep quiet and watch as everything fall apart? Shall we keep quiet when we cannot get services that we have paid for? Shall we keep quiet when our students are not being taught because the lecturers are confused as to who is running the school, as to who is giving instructions? As the student representatives, we are saying that we shall not keep quiet. Part of our mandate is that we shall voice the muffled voices of the students.
We are asking the Public Service Commission and the head of Public Service Commission to weigh in on this matter. Reason being, the students are now at unrest. The moment he's asked to go on leave, he sends a memo telling that anyone who partakes in this cake will either be apprehended or suspended from the university. That is why we are working on, some students are working on anonymity.
President William Ruto on Monday revealed that Kenya received a 4.3 billion shillings grant from the World Bank to fund the last mile connectivity project. Speaking during an event at State House where the contracts for the program were signed, Ruto stated that his government would not be required to pay back the money since it was a grant secured from the Bretton Woods Institution. Ruto further described the last mile connectivity as a project that is personal to him, as it was a promise he made to Kenyans while on the campaign trail. The head of state cautioned contractors on the project to work fast and ensure the project was completed on time. The head of state revealed the project had benefited 9.6 million households and aimed to reach more by the end of the year.
As being connected without a payment, and yet we are able to recover all that cost. But let me also thank the development partners for coming in handy to support this cause. Your Excellency, what Ambassador Henry did not mention is that the 30 million euros coming from the EU is a grant, plus that concession of 60 million euros, which is basically coming from, is it EIB, as a very well concession loan, and 90 million euros coming from the other colleagues. So thank you very much. We really appreciate this development.
Is an immense milestone on Kenya's journey towards achieving universal access to electricity in order to align our infrastructure development with our broader aspiration for a brighter, more prosperous future for the Kenyan people. In the beginning, this vision was not just seen as bold and ambitious. It was also considered to be too audacious to be possible. But it has become possible due to resolute commitment to deliver consistent investment of resources and determination to ensure that every Kenyan household, regardless of location, enjoys reliable and affordable energy. We have achieved steady and impressive progress over the past decade. We have witnessed significant progress in our journey towards universal electrification, raising the national access, as I have said, from 27% in 2013 to 76% now. This means that 9.6 million Kenyan households are now connected to electricity. The Last Mile Connectivity Project has been a transformative initiative whose ambition complements the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. By extending electricity grid to rural and underserved areas, the Last Mile Connectivity Project is not only effectively bridging the development gap between urban and rural communities, but it has also effectively raised the overall rate of national productivity across sectors by facilitating the uptake of efficient technologies.
Mount Elgon Member of Parliament, that is Fred Chesebe Kapondi, has encouraged residents of the area to participate in the planting of trees as one way that will help prevent soil erosion, a step he says will prevent them from disasters that occur during the rainy season. Speaking when he visited Chesiwo in Mount Elgon constituency, where a family lost 3 children after they were covered with mud following the heavy rainfalls that happened in the area, Kapondi has said it is the responsibility of every citizen to plant a lot of trees and indicated that he will provide aid of 20,000 trees to the residents of the area.
So mimi kama mjumbe nimesema sasa going forward, wakati naambia nyinyi panda miti, ninaletea nyinyi miti ya kwenda kupanda. tufanye utaratibu kuhakikisha ya kwamba sehemu hii ya juu tumepanda nini? Miti. Niko na peana nyinyi miti siku ya leo na tupanda sehemu ya juu hii. Sehemu 3 tugawa hii mara 3. Sio maana hiyo? Tuwe na vijana wakitoka hapa waende wasaidie mimi na kusaidia jamii hapa. Alafu wananchi wengine, kuna Cyprus hapo, kuna Grevillea hapo ya kuni. Utaenda na Cyprus uende upande kwako.
Mvua bado ipo. Wala ambao bado wako katika mwinuko, tunaomba tafadhali, kama kuna jamii mahali, tukastiri hawa watu kwa muda mfupi, mvua ipungue ndio warudi. Kwa sababu mvua hii hata ambayo imenyesha baada ya huo mkasa ilitupatia wasiwasi.
Hizi mamiti ambazo tutazipanda saa hii kweli mheshimiwa tusikate.
Tuhakikishe hii mlima tupande nini? Miti. Tupande nini? Miti. Sipo amesema tupande hata matunda. Ukiangalia hiyo mtaro hiyo vile imetaramuka. Tulilima mpaka huko.
Vile chief amesema security starts with ourselves. Wacha tukue waangalifu, tutaki kupoteza tena maisha.
Wananchi tu waangalifu, tuone mahali tunaweza enda kukaa. Hiyo mambo ya mvua iishe, alafu ndio turudi pale. Si ni kweli? Si tunafukuzwa kwa shamba, lakini wewe toka hapo, mvua ikiisha si utarudi.
Women from Samburu sub-county are among hundreds of beneficiaries of the Fistula Foundation efforts to combat the obstetric fistula disorder. The residents were offered free consultations, screenings, and treatments for fistula, a critical health issue that has been proven to affect many women at the grassroots. Safina Ramadan, Bomo's fistula coordinator, noted that one of the major challenges was the lack of awareness about fistula among the affected. Additionally, she said that transportation costs posed a significant barrier for women in rural areas seeking treatment. Misunderstandings and lack of support from their husbands also contributed to delays in women receiving the necessary help and medical care.
Katika hali hiyo ya kupenya katika vijiji, tumeona ya kwamba akina baba wengi sasa wameanza kuwa na ufahamu wa kwamba kumbe mimi si lazima sana ya kwamba ni mpaka nitoe idhini ndio mke wangu aweze kupata huduma. Kwa hivyo imetusaidia na bado pia tungali tunaendelea. Kwa sababu jambo hili hasa la fistula, kusema ukweli lilikuwa ni shida kubwa. Kina mama wanajificha, wengine hata ni wazee mpaka wanakufa hivyo na huo ugonjwa. Kitu ambacho kinaweza tibiwa. Lakini ni kama wanalichukulia sijui ni laana fulani ama ni korogwa. Sasa walikuwa wakifichwa ndani ya nyumba.
Sema kweli huku nyanjani changamoto kuu ni habari kufikia yule mama kule nyanjani. Mara ya kwanza ilikuwa vigumu kidogo kwa sababu walikuwa hawana habari kwamba hata hiyo shida ya fistula yuko nayo. Kwa hivyo ukosefu wa habari mwanzoni ilikuwa pia ni changamoto. Lakini kufikia sasa tumeweza kuwafikia nyanjani na idadi inatoka kulingana na elimu inazidi kwenda nyanjani.
Naweza fikia huo wakati wa kujifungua ikawa inatoka ile nyumba badala ya yule mtoto hajatoka natoka tayari ile nyumba, kumbe ni ile njia ilifunguka. Lakini ilikuwa sijui niko na hiyo tabu ya kwamba njia ilifunguka. Nikapata matatizo pia hata kwa nyumba yangu, manake hata bwanangu pia alikuwa anasema labda niko na wanaume wa kando. Lakini saa hii niko sawa, nilitibiwa na nilipona. Wakati mwingine ilikuwa ni kama natengwa, manake hata mimi mwenyewe najitenga kabla sijatengwa. Sijisikii huru nikiwa na wenzangu. Nikawa ninafanya hata finyunduni dispensary, lakini wakati mwingine ni mtu tu wa kujifunga kwa miguu yangu hivi ili eti nijibale, lakini ilikuwa sikizuizi. Lakini nilipopata hii elimu ikanitoa hapo mahali niko, hata saa hii hakuna kitu chenye kinatoka.
Kwa tunasikia fistula. Lakini nikiuliza hata mzee nikaenda akamuliza, nimwambia mimi nina fistula. Sasa fistula ni nini? Sasa tukao sote wawili hatuna majibu. Nilipopewa siku ya kwenda kwa matibabu, nikaenda kweli Mombasa. Waliponienda nikapimwa tena sasa. Waliponipima wakaniambia sasa tutafanya repair. Nikafikiria repair sasa. Basi nilikubali, nikaenda nikafanywa repair. Nikamaliza miezi yangu 6 nikiwa kwanza tu miezi 2 tu nikajipata niko tofauti tayari, nasikia raha, nikiingia mahali kwa wenzangu nasikia hata ni kama nacheza.
More than 9,000 students in high schools in Sirisia constituency have benefited from the help of sanitary towels from the spouse to the local member of parliament, John Waluke, Mrs. Irene Waluke. Speaking at the Kikai Girls School in the area during the ceremony to equip the students with the necessary equipment, Mrs. Waluke mentioned the many challenges the students are going through and asked more philanthropists to come forward to help them. She also asked male teachers to understand the girls during the menstruation period.
This being the month of menstrual hygiene month, that will be observed on 28th of this May 2024. Here in Sirisia, we have 20 schools. Most of them are girls' school and some are mixed. And we are targeting 9,516 students, all in high school, 20 schools. Like I said, 20 of them in the entire Sirisia constituency, all from Form 1 to Form 4 girls, totaling to 9,516. By doing this, it will help our girls not to go to those border guys to ask for some money for them to buy pads. And I believe we are restoring their dignity, and also we are empowering them, we are educating them that they don't have to go and ask someone else apart from their parents.
Tumekuja hapa kwa ajili ya Mama Irene ambaye ameona ni vizuri kusaidia watoto wetu kupata sodo, ambayo imekuwa ni changamoto sana hasa kwa wasichana wetu, given that they come from humble backgrounds. Wanahitaji kuwa shuleni ili wakasome wakati ule wa hedhi. Tunashukuru sana mheshimiwa, kupitia kwa Mama Irene tumeweza kupata hizo sodo. Asante sana. Ufadhili huu utapunguza sana kwa sababu wengi wa hao wasichana hujihusisha na mapenzi kule nje, kwa sababu wengi wa wale ambao wanawasaidia ili wapatie zile sodo, lakini wakati ambapo wanapata hizi sodo wako nazo shuleni, sasa watakuwa na haja ya kwenda kuuliza watu wengine wawasaidie. Itapunguza sana.
Residents of Melon Market in Chesikaki Ward, Mount Elgon constituency, Bungoma County are stunned after a girl was allegedly helped to abort a pregnancy by a drugstore clinician and then threw the child alive in the toilet. The residents, led by Ben Obama, are disappointed by the incident after it is alleged that the girl, in collaboration with the medical staff, purchased medicine from a store to remove the fetus. They've also called on the security apparatus to do a detailed investigation to resolve the issue after allegations emerged. It may be that the girl received treatment in one of the clinics in the area and was then allowed back home when the situation worsened.
Na kushirikiana na wananchi tumepata mtoto huyo akiwa hai, tumemkimbiza kwa hospitali apate matibabu. Mtoto huyo inasemekana ni wa miezi 7. Pia tulipata pia mama ya mtoto ambaye alikuwa ameavya mimba, na pia tukampeleka katika hospitali ya Spikers Cheptais. Kwa hivyo nikiwa chifu eneo hili, ningependa kutahadharisha hasa wa mama na wasichana ambao wanahuruka kubeba mimba na kutoa, kwamba hawana nafasi katika sehemu hii. Ni kiza ambacho cha kustaajabisha.
Sisi kama viongozi hapa Chesikaki, sisi hatutakubali hiyo tabia ambayo inafanyika hapa eneo la Chesikaki. Hilo tendo ni mbaya sana. Wananchi wameshirikiana na serikali yetu hapa ya Chesikaki, wametoa mtoto kwenye choo.
Ni kwamba waje tufuatilie haki. Hii imetendeka kwa sababu gani? Na ilianzia wapi? Ndio inakuja kumalizikia hapa. Nimezungumza na mama mzazi wa msichana, anasema msichana aligonjeka akitoka Nairobi, na alipofika hapa uchungu ikazidi, akapelekwa Tuikulu dispensary, mahali sasa ni health center. Amelazwa kwa siku 3, na kulazwa kwa siku 3 hiyo ndio amekuwa discharged jana. Wakati wamefika nyumbani, kufika hapa machungu yakaendelea tena, ndio akaletwa hapa for first aid.
Beyond Kenya's borders, South Africa readies itself to head to the polls on Wednesday, May 29th, as sitting President Cyril Ramaphosa urges South Africans to be calm. South Africans vote for parties and not directly for their president in national elections. Parties then get seats in parliament according to their share of their vote, and the lawmakers elect the president. If the African National Congress, ANC, which has been in government ever since the end of white minority rule in 1994, goes below 50%, it would likely need an agreement with other parties to have the votes in parliament to re-elect sitting President Cyril Ramaphosa, once a protege of Nelson Mandela. Several polls have the ANC's support at less than 50%, raising the possibility that it will have to form a national coalition.
Administration took office in 2019. Our country stood at a turning point. We had endured a decade of corruption and state capture, of weak economic growth, and the erosion of our public institutions. Today, we have put that era behind us. We expect this election to be held in conditions of peace and stability, to be free, fair, and credible. We commend the Independent Electoral Commission for the impressive work that they have undertaken.
Now, the two-day of the Mombasa County Swimming Association Junior Championships produced mixed results at Aga Khan Academy, Mombasa. Munir Mwenyenuru of Mombasa Aquatics, who failed to win the boys 200 meters individual medley event, losing to his teammate Abdul Kadir, put up a great show to win the 100-meter backstroke event, clocking 1 minute 41.78 seconds. He was followed by colleague Jedidia Kahindo, who clocked 1 minute 42.64 seconds, with Ariz Nurani finishing third at 1 minute 54.68 seconds. Abubakar Hemed of Bandari SC won boys 8 years 50-meter stroke in 55.89 seconds, followed by Rian Kanabar, and second in 55.99 seconds, with Muhtar Mwenyenuru of Mombasa Aquatics coming in third with 56.04 seconds.
We have 6 clubs and schools participating in this gala, and it has been hosted here at the Aga Khan School from the 25th to between the 25th and the 26th of May. We are having a major, one of our biggest swimming galas coming up between the 5th and the 7th of July, which is the Interclubs Swimming Gala, and we are expecting teams from Nairobi and upcountry, and also as far as from Tanzania. A few of the challenges, we could not call them challenges, but a few of the things we're promoting are swimmers, promoting swimming to swimmers, and also open water swimming. The 2-day event is part of our calendar, and it carries on every year as normal. And yes, we are really looking forward to the gala, which is taking place between the 5th and the 7th of July.
Kenya Police FC will meet KCB FC in the final of Mozart Bet Cup after they registered a 1-0 win against AFC Leopards in their semi-final encounter at Police Sacco Stadium in Nairobi. Police FC and the AFC Leopards semi-final replay on Monday ended 0-0, and the match had been abandoned on Sunday at the 61st minute, with Police FC leading a 1-0 courtesy of Tito Okello's header. According to regulations governing the cup competition, Football Kenya Federation Leagues and Competitions Committee ruled the match be replayed for 30 minutes. Well, sorry about that. That was not the story to do with Police FC. That was on the demolitions that were witnessed a bit earlier on in Mathare. So that is where we wrap it up tonight. Thank you very much for your wonderful company. I hope that you're up to speed with what is making headlines across the country. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Have yourself a fantastic night ahead. God bless.